What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 31 of Beyond the Finish Line, a trail running podcast. If you're an elite, a back of the pack, a party pacer like me, I feel like this is your place to lace up, uh, unwind, and settle in. Before we bring my good pal Derek forward, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way real quick. Friends of the pod, um, your support is invaluable to me and everybody at the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network. So if you could do me and all of us a huge solid, go to Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your pod content, smash that subscribe button. Uh, Give me a 5-star review if you feel so inclined. And if you don't want to give me a 5-star review, don't like about it, we can talk about it. Um, and what's really really cool now is you can comment on Spotify. So what I love about that is we can keep this conversation going after the pod drops, and I think that's been a really cool way to kind of keep the conversation rolling and get some feedback and hear from some listeners. That's been one of my favorite things with Spotify lately. So do one or all the above for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's bring my great friend Derek forward for this amazing chat.
What's up, Joe?
What's up? I didn't have my intro, so that wasn't too bad. So that was on the fly, man.
You
So
got it.
cool. Uh, right on, man. So you're my first guest that came back to the show. So man, what's up, Derek? We've done some cool shit since the last time we talked. You got a buckle. I racked up another DNF, but I got to hang back and do my best to support you. Um, Man, what a hell of a way to DNF. If you're going to DNF, do it with a buddy. DNF and watch your buddy come in and get his first buckle. So that was really exciting. And then we did something even crazier a couple weeks ago. We can get into that, but I don't know what's new, dude. So let's just yeah, what's up?
Yeah, man. Everything's good. I huge honor if I'm your first, repeat guest on here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely heard that high in my hat.
Cool, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been running and training and getting ready for the next thing here. If you want to start out, I talking a little bit about Mohican since that's the farthest back and work our way forward here. But yeah, Mohican, man. I mean, as you know, what an experience that
Yeah.
above and beyond anything else, just that course was one of the more beautiful places I've been, and definitely probably one of the most beautiful places I've gotten the chance to do some trail running. Like what a cool event! I mean, there's just so much history behind that event. It being one of the original 400 milers in the country, just holding that kind of history and the whole history of that trail itself and that area is just super cool. Um, yeah, so I mean that was definitely the highlight of that, and getting to meet you in person for the first time, even though I like what happened was when we first met. I remember in the parking lot there, and I was getting out of my truck. I didn't even there was no introduction, or it didn't feel like I was meeting somebody for the first time. It felt like I was getting out to meet somebody that I've known for half my life. And that was a huge honor, getting to run that event, my first 100 mile with you was just amazing. Um, Obviously, I know that race day didn't go the way you planned, and there were some things there that were way out of your control, with injury issues that there just wasn't anything you could do about. Um, Man, I said it in my post recap post and stuff, and I know but I when we split at that aid station, that was gut wrenching for me. There was no way I was leaving there without you putting the cattle prod my ass to leave there. I was very emotional and crying when I left that aid station because that's not the way either one of us wanted that day to go. So, that held on as like just just an emotional moment trying to get through that. But you were amazing, and I can't imagine anybody I'd rather have with me there doing that first 100. You were beyond supportive, and telling me, "Hey, look, if you've got lightning in a bottle today, just go for it." And I haven't been doing this as long as you, and neither one of us have been doing it as long as a lot of people. But we both know, with something like 100-mile distance, it's not, you could be in the best shape of your life and just have a great day or have a bad day, and you've got to capitalize on when you are having those good days, and you've got to know when to shut it down when you're having a bad one. And we obviously went through both of those scenarios that day. But yeah, I just having you push me to go do that, I don't know that I would have been able to do that without you there to push me to go do that. And seeing you when I came in for those loops made a big difference. Especially going into that night loop, which was just,
Oh yeah.
it's just a total mind game, And I was lucky enough for a sizable chunk of that night loop to link up with a guy on course who was really nice, and we kind of were just trying to get each other through the night, which was good. And I still keep in touch with him after that.
Oh, cool.
And it just, the whole thing was just an amazing experience. Everything about it was phenomenal. And yeah, man, I mean, I couldn't think of a better scenario, place, anything to check that achievement off.
Heck yeah,
And hitting
man.
that 100-mile distance is something that I've had, rumbling around in the back of my brain, whether I was actively running and a runner or not, since 2008. So it was a big moment for me, and I'm forever grateful that I got to share that moment with you, and that you were there, and just everything was awesome. So,
Yeah, man, it was a true honor. Like I said, it's like it's like we know each other our whole lives. It was cool, man. Yeah, man, I mean, watching you cross that finish line was such an honor, man. It was just so cool. I had a lot of fun following the tracker. Man, I remember when I saw you, I felt like I linked up with you at like maybe 1 to 3 a.m. or somewhere. Oh man, I was just like, all right, he's in the suck right now, but he's gonna. You were still moving good. I was like, all right, he's gonna get this thing. So
yeah, I mean, and I remember, coming in and out of that night loop, and you telling me, hey, look, just knuckle down, get through this, and when the day breaks, it's going to be kind of like a new burst of energy. um, and that really held true. I mean, when that sun comes up, I was just dying, and when that sun came up, you just kind of, you feel a little bit reborn, and
yeah,
renewed. And that definitely made all the difference for being able to push on.
yeah. I learned that. I've done some 100Ks that had like some pretty weird, like wild start times, and you hit that like 4 a.m. mark. You're just like, it couldn't get any worse than this. There's no way I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel any better. And then as soon as that, like you hear some birds chirp and the sun comes up, it's just like, wow, like I'm told, like you just feel like a totally different human. So I knew that was coming for you, and I'm glad it did. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I run a lot at night around here. Just, I mean, and I'm, sure a lot of people who follow me and stuff know, just with my crazy schedule working for myself and with 4 kids, I end up running a lot in the evenings and at nights. But this was nothing like that. You know what I mean? I mean, when I'm going out to run 10, 11 miles at 8, 9 o'clock at night here, I haven't already been running for 18 hours.
Yeah.
So when you're at that point and, everything just kind of is telling you to shut it down, and you got to push through that darkness. It's crazy, but
Heck yeah,
totally
man.
worth it.
You earned the hell out of you earned the hell out of that buckle too. Man, that belt was cool as shit too, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great buckle. Yeah, I know you know. I mean, I recently got it permanently inscribed on the leg there.
Heck
So.
yeah. Ink.
Yeah, the first 100-mile buckle, I'm going to take that one with me everywhere,
Right on, man. Yeah, it was like I said, my day didn't get, like you touched on, my day didn't go well. I think I started having pain pretty early, but I didn't want to say anything about it. I think I kept it quiet for a while. I can't remember. I think I eventually spoke up. Well, I put a knee brace on, and I was like, "All right, there's no more ignoring this." And so I basically I had like really bad knee pain from mile 30 to till I dropped at mile 45. Well, after you went through, I was like, man, like you said, you didn't want to leave me behind, but I was like, if you feel great, you got to go. Like you may not feel this way the next time you line up for one of these. So I actually I tried to run out of that aid station, and I ended up, there was that big ass climb out of that covered bridge, was like Gorge Overlook or whatever. I can't remember what aid station that is.
Yeah.
And I got halfway up that climb. I was like, nah, man, something doesn't feel right here. So, whatever. I pulled the plug and hung back and supported Derek, and I had a really fun time, like following the tracker. I actually got a little time to, like, that next morning, I was kind of keeping an eye on your tracker. And the bummer is once I iced my knee down and I took like a nice long shower, iced my knee out, propped my legs up for a few hours, got a little rest. I walked 3 miles the next day, like through Loudonville. So yeah, DNF's a bummer, but getting to meet a buddy for the first time was like the coolest thing ever. Like I said, I felt like I'd known you my whole life. But I got to like explore Loudonville a little bit. That was like such a cool town. And like that basically, to me, Loudonville reminded me of like a miniature Gatlinburg.
It
Like,
was the whole area felt kind of like you are on the outskirts of what becomes the Appalachians there, but
yeah,
it was very similar to being in a lot of Appalachian towns, and just a great area. So
yeah. So it was cool. Like that town was laid out like that, and there was like, I mean, you're damn near in mountains. Like, who would have thought that all that's like nestled into like kind of
middle of
central
Ohio.
Ohio? Like, so it was kind of cool. And my friend Stephanie, who was going to pace me, she had to back out, but she kept the cabin reservation open for me. So this is like the night. So I've never had accommodations this nice at an ultra before. Usually I'm sleeping in like a shitty tent or in the back of my car. Like Stephanie I had a room, I had a bed, I had a shower with some people that she knew from the area. It's a local run club. They all like, so it's just me and like all these people from that area. And so I had really cool bunk mates and stuff, and like this really cool cabin. So I felt kind of spoiled anyway. So it's like, at least I didn't DNF and have to like sit in my tent or something. Like I got to like sleep in a bed and take a shower. So
yeah, you had the VIP accommodations right there, man. I mean, you could throw a rock from your bunk to the start line. That was pretty sweet.
I could hear people
polar opposites.
Yeah, I could hear people crossing the finish
accommodation.
line. Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is the way to do it. It may have ruined the way I camp out of ultras now, but yeah. So I was spoiled.
We couldn't have been farther apart when it came to accommodations at that race, because I initially thought I was in a campsite that was across the street, and I was just going to sleep in the back of my truck in the bed, and come to find out that I'm in a campsite that is on the other side of the Mohican Park. And when that pre-race meeting had ended there at about 7:30 at night, the skies literally opened up about 15 minutes later.
Oh
So
yeah,
I was driving in the pouring rain through that park, through like, the windy mountain park road. So it took me about 45 minutes to get out to my campsite. And then I was getting everything ready for the next morning. And then I was so far out that I had to wake up crazy early the next morning to get there in time. So I think I went into that race with maybe about 2.5 hours of sleep, something like that.
Oh, damn.
Which
Yeah,
seems to
man.
be a running theme for me, because at my 50 miler, our youngest daughter was just not having it the night before my race and kept us up all night. And I ended up going into that race with about 3 hours of sleep. So maybe it's my trend. I don't know.
You were trained up for sleep deprivation then.
Yeah, it's my whole life with working events and snow removal work and everything else that I've done to pay the bills my entire life has always required me to work through nights. So,
Man, so I didn't get to see I didn't get to experience what you did, but what I got through, how'd that go? It was like 27 miles.
yeah, that first loop was like 27 something, and then the second one I think was just over like 25, and then the last two were like 23 or something.
Yeah.
They all kind of got progressively shorter. I think, the only thing that was majorly different was on that first loop where we went through that enchanted forest section, which was not even running. I mean, anybody that saw photos or posts from us from that, I mean, you were going up a tiny little waterfall creek bed valley with no marked trail. You were climbing over down trees and crossing the creek and the river, and that end section where you had to climb up the roots of that giant tree to get up out of that valley. I mean, it was awesome to see.
It was
but
awesome.
Nobody was running through there. Everybody
not
was just
at all
trying to get through that section. So.
Yeah, I like that. We had that group of people in front of us, and like, are we going the right way? And I remember you were like, "Well, it's the only way humans can go." I think. Like,
we ain't climbing straight up the valley cliff walls, so it's either that way or the way we came, But yeah, at one point we were all looking at each other like, where the hell are we supposed to go? I mean, there was no flags in there, no marking, nothing. Once you got in there, it was just get out.
It was awesome. Yeah, I'm so thankful that I read Lester Burris's article about the not so enchanted forest. So it's like, well, I read about this, so at least I kind of know like it's how ridiculous it is. It was pretty cool. Yeah, there's absolutely no running. I think we were doing like a 30-minute mile for the enchanted forest to get through all that.
For sure. Yeah, if that. Parts of it were probably even slower than that. So.
Well, cool, man. So after Mohican, we did something wild. So I turned 43 recently, and me and Derek kind of talked about maybe me coming up your way up to Kettle and doing 43 miles at Kettle. But fortunately, my awards business got busy again, so I had work to do. Well, I can stay local sometimes, and I can still knock out my training runs and keep my machines rolling and like all that stuff. So me and Derek, kind of on a whim, like literally a whim, I think we decided. I think I texted you Friday morning,
11:30 that morning. You texted me, "Hey, you interested in doing this?" And I think we started at 6 o'clock that night.
Yeah. So with less than 8 hours notice, we decided to do a 4x4x48, the David Goggins thing. That was hard. I think I would rather run 48 miles consecutively, but for anybody that doesn't, so I guess for anybody that doesn't know, it's a ridiculous thing to do, but me and Derek had like a ton of fun. You run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So we started at, I think started at 6 or 8 o'clock on Friday night. So we ran at 8 p.m., midnight, 8 a.m.
Yeah, your times were an hour off of mine.
I forgot. We're in different time zones, and then we had like a midnight run, 4 a.m. run, for 2 days. And yeah, me and Derek decided we might as well take the opportunity to like stream it. So we were like doing like updates, which was really cool. What I thought was cool was people chimed in. Like I didn't
Yeah.
think anybody would be paying attention. I just got a message like last week. I sent you a screenshot of that. So my buddy TJ did one too. He said, "Hey man, thanks for for like keeping us updated on the 4x4x48. It helped me get through it." So I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
we're just doing something silly for ourselves, but and we were live streaming each other to kind of keep each other accountable. And like, how cool was it that we could do that? So we were able to start at the same time and like kind of have a little check in. But I thought it was even cooler, like kind of like an unintended like side effect of that. People were actually like commenting and like rooting us on. So I thought that was pretty cool that it turned out that way. So that was pretty rad. And we touched on this back, our last episode of What's in Your Earbuds. But me and Derek were like starting like a Spotify jam, and like so we could like listen to each other's songs like kind of like live together. That was pretty cool. But we didn't get to do it every time because I can't really figure out technology half the time. But for the most part,
I'm in the same boat. I think we both we it was awesome, but we both struggled. I think a couple of times with getting the live going and getting the Spotify jam going. I mean, that's not my strong suit either. So
I think a few times I hit it in my pocket or something. I don't know what. I was just like, all right, well, this is the song we're listening to now.
Yeah, that's all right. Sometimes it worked out all right. I mean, you and I are both eclectic enough that I don't think anything was going to come on where either one of us were like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I thought was funny is you did yours on trail, which is pretty badass. And I had to stay kind of close. So I just, did it straight off my porch on the street. So it's like, I noticed that our music reflected where we were. It's like, I felt like yours, like the music that you were picking for your stream would do better in like the woods. And for some reason I kept going to like metal and like hip hop. Cause like I'm on the street, like I felt like, so yeah, it was a different vibe. So I thought that was kind of cool how like our music choices are similar, but like during that they were just enough different where I could kind of notice, like to me, I could tell you were on the trail and I was on the street. Like that's just how I saw that playing out with our playlist. But
no, for sure. Yeah. I think I was definitely playing some more, like chilled out, low key stuff, or some electronic music, and you were definitely going a little bit more on the heavy metal hip hop side. But it was all good. It was a lot of fun, and like you said, people, with the exception of maybe that 3 a.m. live, we had people chiming in on almost all of them, which was great. And I know we both had, people that reached out to us afterwards and during and stuff, which was just really cool to see.
Yeah.
Obvious, both of us are, knowing this, this community is just awesome. And when you do something like that, especially when you're just throwing it together at the last minute, unsanctioned, untimed, unsupported on everything. And then, with 5 hours notice, and to see people come out of the woodwork and cheer you on and say, hey, this is awesome. You guys are doing great. That's cool. And it's very symbolic, of what this community is and the way it comes together for everyone, which is really neat and it's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you like matching my energy on some wild shit like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, yeah, man. It's like I didn't even have to really talk you into it. I was just like, do you want to do this? Like starting tonight? Like, yeah. All right. It's like, cool. I know my people.
Yeah, if you want to do something highly questionable, like I'm your guy.
Oh man. Oh, what was really cool was I didn't mention this just now, but as my runs were uploading on Strava, I noticed more people were like commenting on my Strava segments because I started running the same. I was just getting tired. I mean, I know you were too. So I just kept running this. I was trying to change up my route, but I got into like autopilot day 2, and just kept
man.
running.
But you crushed it with that pace. I mean, if we look back on that, like my paces were just all over the place for every loop. And I mean, granted, I was running more varied terrain,
Yeah.
Except with the exception of 2 of the night loops where I just kind of ran around here on sidewalks and streets. Um, but yeah, I mean, you were just dialed. I mean, I was so, I kept telling you, but I was so impressed during that whole thing, the way you just every loop. I mean, your average pace for every single one of those was probably within 15 seconds of each other,
Yeah.
with the exception of I think the last one where you were like, I'm blowing it out of the water.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I mean that was just crazy impressive. The fact that you were able to just be so focused and dialed in and just find that cruise control spot and just stay right in it every time. Super impressive.
Yeah, I think I was telling you, like, I developed that training for backyards like a couple years ago, where I can do like a run walk. I used to have like a little pager. It would do like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. So run 5 minutes, walk 2 minutes, and I did that for quite a few backyards. But I had done that. I did that so long. I can do that in my head now almost. And I look back at. I mean, I wasn't looking at it at the time because I just like would try to go back to sleep or eat or
Yeah.
whatever. But like you said, I was probably within like 15, 10 seconds. Like there was
Oh,
a few times I was like, yeah. And I was able to do that with backyards, like where I was within tens of seconds, like with my loops. And it was cool, like to see that like on day two, because we were both absolutely just wiped out. And I was still able to like, it was like, I was like Pavlov's dog. Like I knew like, this is where I run, this is where I walk. And I was able to like, even without kind of being an autopilot, still like nail those like splits for, I mean, 2 days basically. So that was pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah, that last loop, man. Shout out to the Boone County Milers. I don't think any of them listen to my podcast, but there's a local run club that's started forming here in Lebanon, which is unheard of for this small town, and we're like 12, 14 members strong now. And they were posting my runs on their group page, and some of the Boone County Milers came out with signs my last loop and
That
joined
was
me for
awesome.
my last. Yeah. So, and I didn't know it was coming. So, and they had been watching my segment, so they knew where I was going to go. So yeah, well, no. They did tell me ahead of time. So I remember I told you, hey, they're going to be coming, but
Yeah.
I didn't know until right before. And there they were in the park with signs, and they ran the last loop with me. So we just like screamed through that last. I mean, it felt like I was running quick, but after 48 hours of running, it might have been a shuffle at best. But yeah, so that was cool, like to
It's
get some support in
another
real life
awesome
too.
example. Another awesome example of this community, man. Just
Yeah,
coming out for everybody.
and so that served me like a couple. And I'll let you answer this too. It served me in a couple of different ways. It was cool, man. It was like I know we had to do it virtually, unfortunately, but it still felt like we were running together. I didn't feel like I was running alone.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was down about the Mohican DNF, but I needed like a little redemption. And man, that restoked a fire in me. I after Mohican, I didn't throw myself pity parties out of my control, but I did felt a little down, like damn, I didn't get a buckle this time again. But
Mhm.
so and what was compelling to me is this is the first time I felt like I was felt stronger day two. I mean, I was exhausted, but mentally stronger. My legs felt the same the entire time. Like after about three of those fours, my legs didn't change. So I literally felt the exact same. I know we had rest periods in between, but
Yeah.
so that's the first time I've ever had that. At backyards, I mean, my legs get toasted after that long. So I guess that was just something I noted. I don't know what I've done different other than just, consistency, and I kept showing up um, to run. So I guess that was just one thing that I could note is like, I think it's the first time I've ever done something crazy like this, and it did like I just felt good the entire time. So
Yeah.
what was your like? What do you learn from this? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I took a lot away from that. One big factor in this thing that we are not telling people who weren't following along with us is that we, along with opting to do that with about 6 hours notice, also just happened to pick what has hands down been the hottest, most humid weekend of the entire summer. We're in both of our prospective locations.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that added a whole another factor to everything. I mean, I think I mentioned to you before, but like, my Garmin tracked something like, over 5,000 milliliters of sweat loss during that entire thing. So that was just nuts. But takeaways from that thing, a big one for me is so and I know we've talked about this before. I'm not like a training plan coach person. I run by how I feel. So if I go out and I got a big chunk of time, I run real long if I feel good, and I run faster in some sections and slower. And I run if I'm hurting a little more, I might run slower or walk more. I train by what my body's telling me I can handle at any given moment. And I lean towards the long and slow. It's what brought me into ultra running. Um, and a lot of times if I look at the clock and I'm like, oh well, I only got time to run 4 miles, I'd be like, forget it. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go later when I got more time. And since we did that, that really got me to kind of fall in love with not only the concept of running some shorter distances, but taking that like long run and maybe breaking it up into 2, 3 runs over the course of the day. This past Monday, I went out first thing in the morning and ran like 8 miles, and then I went out back again in the evening and ran 11, and it was awesome. And I've been doing that a lot since we finished that 4x4x48, where I've just kind of been like breaking stuff up, doing a lot more days where I do multiple runs in a day. And like you were saying, I'm actually finding that I'm able to log, if not the same, but a lot of times more mileage than I would have logged before, and do it with less recovery time and less long term fatigue on my body, because I'm kind of breaking it up and I'm giving myself a little bit of mini recovery there in the middle of the day. Whereas before it would have just been 5 hours straight of pounding. I'm doing, 2 or 3 hours here and then giving my body a little break, eating some food, icing something if it hurts, stretching, foam rolling, and then, 6 hours later going out and running for another 2 hours. So that's been huge for me. It's been huge for me to be able to like bring up my weekly mileage and do it in a way that's not putting the same what feels like the same wear and tear on my body. So that was a big takeaway. The other thing for me, man, just from the standpoint of us being such good friends and everything, was just seeing you, because I know that you came out of Mohican and that didn't crush you or anything, and you weren't getting ready to hang up your running shoes because of it or anything like that. But seeing you at the end of that weekend, like I could tell as we were kind of going through that, as we kind of progressed into like the second day and stuff, I could see like a spark in you, like getting it back. Like, hey man, like, I can do this hard shit. What happened at Mohican was out of my control, and I'm feeling it and on to the next thing. And I could sense and see that. And for me, that was awesome. Just, the same way you had that gratitude for being able, even though you couldn't finish Mohican, to be there for me when I got my finish. I felt that same sense of gratitude and everything, just being able to watch you finish that and get that fight and that spark back, and be able to just, once and for all wipe that behind you and on to the next page.
yeah, yeah. It was nice to like shake it off, just like like it is what it is, man. Like shake it off. Yeah, it felt good to. It felt good. As absurd as that challenge is, I would do it again. By the way, as
Man,
absurd.
we were talking about doing one more loop at the end of that thing
Yeah,
before we
yeah,
started our last loop.
full disclosure, we almost did one more just cause, but I was just like,
Yeah.
I was so tired of being like, I feel like I'm very well heat acclimated. I mean, I've been outside of this last week. I run commute to work, so I'm used to being outside during in the middle of the heat. But man, I was just like, I am so tired of sweating. Like, could I possibly sweat more? Like, And my wife was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna order pizza for after this last loop." So I was like already thinking about Pizza King pizza. So it's like, oh man, like we could do one more loop. Like I could have done one more loop for sure, but yeah.
I'm a monster when it comes to food. I mean, I'm like one of those little dudes that'll like eat a 500-pound guy under the table. But man, that meal, like when we finished that, holy cow! I mean, I just was cranking. I've never been so like hungry in my life, and I ate a lot during that thing. But man, yeah, when we were done with that, it's like, give me all the foods now.
I ate like half of a large pizza and like a third of a watermelon after that, something like that, something crazy. It was hot. Yeah, that was the one thing. I don't think either one of us paid attention to the weather until we were like in the middle of it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be historically hot this weekend. Like
Yeah.
perfect timing.
It's only 98 degrees with a heat index of 109 and a dew point of 75. It was fine.
Something else I didn't realize. I've lived in this town, a very long time, since the early '90s. Is I got to experience more like I got to experience more of the town at like a time we wouldn't normally, and it was just like it was just kind of cool, I guess. It's like we have like this really old courthouse that I see every day. I run past it, I cycle past it every day on my way to work, but I never really like pay attention to it. And I saw that for 2 days, every 4 hours, outside of the loops I did there's a rail trail like a quarter mile from my house. But it was just kind of cool. Like I look at this thing every day of my life and I never paid this much attention to it. Like, how cool is this? So it was just like a lot of little nuances just around in my neighborhood that I guess I would have normally just brushed off because it's like part of my day-to-day commute. But I got to like experience it kind of, just in a different way. I thought that was kind of cool. That was my takeaway. It's like I live here every day. I see this stuff every day, but I never really took time to like appreciate some of that neat stuff that's like around me.
Well, when you're running the same 4-mile loop 12 times, you have no choice but to start to notice different things.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, no, you were cranking out some really cool photos during that whole thing, and I'm sure a lot of it had to do with you just kind of noticing new stuff every time you were rolling around there.
Yeah. So were you, man. So that was pretty cool. We were talking about me and Derek went deep on photo composition and all that stuff during some of this, and so
something you were vastly more skilled at than me. It was more me asking questions on how to not take photos that suck.
Man, so early sobriety and COVID was wild, man. So I'm like, what do you do with your time during global pandemic and you're getting sober? You might as well dive deep into photography and photo composition, right? So I did what everybody else did that was bored. I bought a camera and learned about photo composition. So yeah, cool. We've got a few ideas kicking up next. We haven't signed up for anything yet, and I keep trying to talk Derek into doing something. I want to, outside of this, I have this like weird calling. I want to do something really silly and big. I don't know what it is yet. So I've been like throwing little hints here and there. But me and Derek talked about, I guess I'll just say we haven't signed up for it yet. We haven't hit the registration button, but I need to get a buckle really bad. So I think we talked about maybe signing up for the Hallucination 100. I think that's what me and Derek talked about.
I'm in for that one. That was me conning you into that
one. Yeah. So Derek talking me into this one, and he did all the research, and I'm in. It sounds like a pretty amazing event. So that's probably what's going to be next. Me and
you got your other friend of the pod that is going to probably be running that race too, right, Paul?
Yeah. So it sounds like there might be a crew up there, so that'd be pretty cool. That'll be neat. Yeah, so something else to train for. I'm just gonna keep logging miles, and I'm gonna keep showing up to these things till I get a buckle, or I don't know. I'm just gonna keep showing up. So
we're getting you that buckle of hallucination,
man. That's the so here's the damnedest
high
thing.
Water.
My first DNF was at IT 100. Unfortunate, but that was a mental breakdown. Man, I felt so good at Mohican. That's the thing. Mentally, felt great. We were having so much damn fun. Like I touched me and Derek were like, just like how beautiful that course was. We spent 45 miles together, just like appreciating how amazing that course. It's a brutal ass course, but it's beautiful.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so mentally, I felt great. It is what it is. So I'm gonna show up like that again at Hallucination 100, and see if we can.
We're gonna have just as much fun. We're just gonna do it for twice as long.
Just twice as long, yeah. But and yeah, I don't know. Maybe after that we'll figure out something. But I'm gonna try talking into something, maybe not race related. But I'd like to fast pack somewhere. I don't know. I've got it on my mind that I want to take on the Knobstone, but that might be a tall order.
Yeah. Well, you've talked about potentially wanting to, what is it, cross Indiana?
Cross Indiana. That's like, I've been obsessing over that ever since I started running. I'll get that together eventually.
Well, whenever you want to roll, you know all you have to do is send me a text, and I'll be there in about 10 minutes. So.
I'll try to text you maybe more in advance than like 4 hours.
Yeah, it makes no difference. Makes no difference.
Yeah. So what do we got? We got till September to train up. So we'll have for that. I think we're gonna have to cash in a little idea at some point. Get some miles up that way.
I'm down for that too. I've got mine coming up, man. I mean, it makes a couple more miles than yours since I'm a little older, but mine's coming up here in August. So if you want to come out to Kettle and run 45 with me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man.
We might have to make that a plan.
Oh, man. You can easily get 45 at Kettle.
Yeah, I mean, I could come up that way. Maybe we could car camp at the trailhead and. Ooh, heck yeah! So that might have to be a future plan coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm in. And then I'll be. Are you going to actually run at your event? But I don't know if you're going to run there, but I'll be at yours.
Yeah, so that's coming up after Hallucination 100. So I'm race directing my first race. It's been it's called Hustle in the Heartland 8 Hour, and Derek's coming to help. I've had to lean on him and a bunch of other very supportive local race directors. That's October 11th. It's been something, but there's been a lot of moving pieces for such a simple event, but I think it's coming together. It hasn't been easy, I guess, so far, but I'll be directing, trying to keep the vibes going, keep people moving. I'm really excited that I've had people reach out to me already telling me what their goals are. I've got people that want to run their first half marathon, first marathon distance. Someone wants to run a 50K. So I'm really fired up that anybody would, first of all, choose my event to set a PR. So I can't wait to see that happen. I hopefully people are okay with me hugging them when they cross the finish line with their PR goals, and maybe we can come up with some cool awards. I'm really excited for that day. It's been pretty cool to see all come together. Race directing, something I've been wanting to do. Same thing since I laced up shoes. So it's been kind of cool watching all this come together, kind of last minute. But yeah, we'll make something special to that day. Yeah,
looking forward to it, man. And I mean, you know my events background, so I'm no stranger to it. I know race directing is, I think, like I told you once, I used to have a shirt that said event production is like riding a bike that's on fire while somebody's throwing stuff at you. And it's not easy, but it's super rewarding, and watching people cross that finish line you created, there's nothing like it. So I'm really excited for you. I'm excited to be there, take part in it, and be a part in it. It's going to be awesome. It'll make all the work worthwhile.
Heck yeah, I did. Yeah, I feel like right now is the bicycle on fire stage of it, but eventually I think it's gonna come together.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah, after that, I don't know. I know it's crazy. I already have other race directing goals like in my mind, but ever since I started this, I can't run like a trail or like a section without thinking like what could be put, like what could happen here. Like, so I think going like it, once the smoke settles from this, I'm already thinking that I want to try. I'd like to try a trail race after this. It's for sure something I'd like to do. So the Hustle in the Heartland is an 8-hour event. It's a 1 mile loop, but in my heart, I really want to do some sort of trail race soon. And then me and Derek talked about a few things.
We've kicked around a couple ideas.
We can, yeah, a couple ideas, but so maybe that'll be in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool, man. So back to Hallucination 100. I'm stoked. I think me and Heidi Baker were kind of talking. I was like, if I DNF this again, maybe I'll just sign up for a 200 miler, just kind of joking. And then Heidi's like, well, come do cane break. I'm like, like, so who knows? If I can get a buckle, maybe I'll double. Maybe if I don't get a buckle, I'll still double down. But
crazy things start with just a little suggestion like that.
So man, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some music. So what are you listening to these days?
Oh, I don't know, a little bit of everything. Saw yesterday there. I had Ace of Base on, so
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's
just
rad.
Flashing back a little bit.
Yeah, I've been.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh god, I've been stuck on still like a grunge metal phase right now that I can't quite get over.
Yeah, I was definitely the other day was pretty much just Ozzy in heavy rotation all day long. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Like it's told you on Friday. On Fridays I always listen to that my new release and new suggestions on my Spotify playlist, and that's when you always get bombarded every time I'm finding tracks that I enjoy. So.
Yeah, I definitely had Osmosis on rotation this week, but yeah, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that was a rough one. So that guy took full advantage of every moment he was here, though. So
yeah, that is no kidding.
Yeah, I know I'm not a wrestling guy, but I know you are, and Hulk went today.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow. Yeah, I got into wrestling during like Jake the Snake days. That was my era. Dusty Rhodes. Yeah. That was the good stuff.
Yeah, we're getting up there, Joe. We're getting up there.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So I say we make a plan for we'll have to come up with something for your birthday. Maybe that's what'll be. That'll be our next thing.
Man. I'm down. I try to do that. I wanted to do that anyways. So yeah, man, you want to come down and we can get up and go and camp at Kettle or whatever and get in a good long run there. I'm down.
Heck yeah, I've never been up that way, so I'm really looking forward to checking that place out.
It's a beautiful area. Very, very grateful to have that, close within easy driving distance of me. So, yeah. And I'm excited about this. Just jump back real quick. I am really excited about this hallucination event. The other thing about that Mohican race is that it's part of what they call the Midwest Grand Slam, Ultra Grand Slam, which is the hundreds. And there's 5 races in that, and this hallucination is another race in that series. So I'm definitely excited to see that and check that out because I think something that I somewhere down the line probably want to go after that Grand Slam. So
Oh yeah, I wonder who's left in the Slammers. Yeah, we
a
got
lot
to
of
see
people,
Lily Medina was at Mohican, so that was cool. Oh, something I didn't even touch on. I got to watch. Oh dang it! I got to watch the 32nd person to run their. Um, so yeah,
wow,
that was insane. Yeah, that was cool. So that was like just right before you came in. So only 32 people in the world have ran 100 milers, and I got to watch one of those people. I, for the life of me,
that's
can't remember his name.
unbelievable.
I got to talk to him for a few minutes. It's like, man, I have to get in and chat with this person because like 100 of these, like I could not even imagine that. So that was super cool to witness. And yeah, so he's officially in Davy Crockett's history book. So that'd be kind of cool. That I'm assuming that they'll do a podcast on that too. Davy Crockett always has those people on his show. So it'd be cool to tune into that and hear more about this guy that did that. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I
this
couldn't imagine
weekend
100 of
is.
this.
Oh my God! And there was a couple people there with the 2,000-mile buckles for Mohican,
I think
which
that was
was
his
crazy.
20. That was his 20th Mohican, is what they
Yeah,
said. So
wow,
he got a 2,000 mile buckle and his 100 mile at that race.
wow, wow. And like you've mentioned, that was not an easy course.
I mean, I only got to experience 45 miles of it, but good God, I don't think I've been on a harder course. It was like sneaky I mean, it was tough, just all around tough, just nonstop rolling hills. Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
place, but big nasty rocks everywhere. I couldn't imagine doing that many times.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, we get to
Yeah,
go to another one of the other slammers, so that'd be really cool to be a part of that.
yeah. The third one is this weekend is Burning River. That's the
Burning River.
third of the 5 in the series. So there's still Hallucination, and then I think what is it? Is IT the 5th one?
IT 100 is October 11th, so that's one
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
and that's a cool course too.
yeah.
I made it to 60 mile 67 of IT 100 last year, but yeah. So Hallucination, that's part of Run Woodstock. So they have other races there, so they're like hippie themed, and so that'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool. I heard like the aid stations are like hippie themed. I heard the aid stations are really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never
Yeah, the
ran.
whole.
Yeah,
I just say, yeah, the whole thing looks like a great vibe. They have like micro buses parked there, and everybody camps out. They did like for people not running. It said they do like yoga classes, and they're gonna have bonfires, and so it definitely seems like the whole thing is a really cool community vibe to it, which I'm excited for.
yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, I've never ran in that part of the country. It'd be kind of cool to check this whole thing out. September, it's in Michigan. Weather probably won't be too bad either. So
No, it
that'll be
shouldn't be
nice.
terrible. Yeah.
Cool. Well, right on, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I look
Thanks for
forward to
having
more.
me.
I look forward to more adventures with you, dude. It's been a real honor getting to know you. Let's share some more miles in real life in September. But yeah, I think me and Derek are just going to keep logging crazy ass adventures. So
I
I'm
have
looking
no
forward to
doubt
that.
we'll find a lot more ways to get into trouble together, Joe.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe after this, I'll talk Derek into coming down this way, and maybe we can hop on some sketchy shit in southern Indiana and see if we can get into that down here sometime. And who knows?
Yeah, I want to come log some miles at that Jackson County trail there.
Dude. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to run it this year, but I'm definitely gonna be there. So, and they allow pacers this year too, dude. Yeah, if you could come down for Jackson, oh man, what? It's one of my favorite places. Jackson County is one of my favorite places, hands down. Really incredibly hard climbs, but at the top of each of those climbs is one of the most gorgeous views you ever see. And the downhills match it. The downhills are terrible, but nice and runnable. Great support. Great race directing company. Josh just knocks that thing out of the park. I know he'll get it to be a Western States qualifier. There's been some like elites that show up to this thing the past few years, so it's been really cool being a part of it. It's been really cool getting to see the elites pass me, even if it's in that capacity. Seeing like Shea Aquilano ran it last year. She's like part of. I got to watch her, and then she found out she got drawn for Western States. She finished like top 20 this year at Western States. Ran Jackson County last year.
Dude.
Good God, how fast is he?
Man, that guy passed me. That guy passed me a couple times at Mohican. You know, when I was on like loop 2 and he was probably on loop 3 or 4. But I mean, he passed me like he was standing, like I was standing still. I mean, just on an uphill, like he was going downhill. Holy cow, is that dude fast?
And he's just so nice. Like he passed me, like, "How are you feeling? How are you doing?" Just like I'm just like he's out for a Sunday
he passed
jog.
me one time. He's like, "You're doing awesome, man. Like, keep going. You're doing great. Yeah, brother, keep going." I'm just like, see ya. Like, God.
What did he run the Mohican in, like 16 hours?
Yeah. Well, I think it was either right at or just under 17 hours.
Okay. Either way, for that course,
which is crazy because, I mean, there was no section of that course where for more than 50 to 100 yards was the ground flat. I mean, every single part of that course, you were either going uphill or downhill. There was no just cruising.
Yeah. It was incredible watching him. If you're going to get passed by somebody, it's really cool watching someone at that level pass you and being that like cool and like not like, yeah. He passed me.
Yeah, and I think
just like just cool as a cucumber.
And I think he's won that Grand Slam either 2 years ago or last year. He was top at the Midwest Grand Slam.
Just absolutely crushing it. He's one of the coolest follows on Strava. Oh man, he's logging some like 100-something mile weeks too. It's wild. I'm gonna have to have him on someday. I've been trying to get him on, but he runs like, like 100 milers like almost every weekend, it seems like. But I'll get him on someday too. We can pick his brain for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, such a cool experience. I look forward to more with you, dude. We'll get into something.
Absolutely.
Hallucination. Maybe something soon. Well, man, thanks for coming on again. It was cool catching up with you outside of text and Instagram. I guess we'll have to have you back on again after September, after we do something else. But
I mean, I'm from Chicago, so it's in my nature to three-peat, Joe.
Right? Yeah, right on. And I'll be up that way soon to link up with Jason and the rest of the Run Tribe Light community up that way. So maybe.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm hoping to be there, meet up with Jason too when he's in Chicago. I'd really love to get a chance to meet up and run some miles. So yeah, it'd be awesome.
Cool. Well, right on, man. Yeah, thanks again. Thanks for everybody that listened. It was cool just to kind of unpack some stuff with my buddy Derek. We'll have some more adventures. We'll keep you all updated. It's been kind of cool having, like a suffer buddy, something that would just kind of just on a whim will sign up and do these crazy things with me. So, thank you all for listening. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you want to do with the pod. It really helps us. I appreciate you all for the time, and I will see you next time beyond the finish line.